Hey, this is Jonathan again. Sorry, I haven't posted a video in a couple of weeks. Um, been having computer difficulties. I ended up buying and building a new rig, getting a new microphone and things like that. If you watch the video before I went on hiatus, you could hear garble and crackling and things like that, and I'm really hoping that this video is better. Uh, One of the things I really wanted to talk about today was an issue that has been circulating around in my local area about the legislature trying to pass an amendment to block funding to Arkansas Tech University because they had a department of diversity and inclusion. They held an event, Sex on the Lawn. It was about sexual education. It was about uh, sexual safety, all kinds of different things. And some of the local legislatures got offended by this. And so they decided to get together and try to pass an amendment to a law that stated if Arkansas Tech didn't pull and dismantle the Department of Diversity and Inclusion, that they would stop all state funding to the university. Um, I considered it horrible. I had a very hard time even wrapping my head around this because it doesn't really matter what your personal views are, what your religious views are. Discrimination of any kind is wrong. Uh, so it boggled my mind that someone in that high a position would do something so stupid. Um, and of course, it kind of made me shift some of my thoughts around because I had this horrible assumption in my mind that as a human race, we had advanced far enough that things like discrimination weren't as bad as people said. Now, the reason I thought that is because obviously I wasn't exposed to it. I didn't see it, wasn't around it. But then I see that there are still people in this world that have a very backwards view on others. In my opinion, I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic. I don't care if you're from another country. I don't care if you're an immigrant. I don't care if your great great grandparents were immigrants and you're a natural citizen. I don't care if you're lesbian. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're transgender. I don't care about any of that stuff because what I care about is the person. People are important. How you treat people is important. How we act towards others in our day to day lives shapes us. And it not only shapes us, but it shapes those around us. Um, it reminds me of, and this is going to be funny, a cartoon, Japanese animation that I watched a long time ago. I'm not going to go into specifics, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the overall storyline and how it relates to what we're going through today. There was a race of people who were considered less than human. They were stomped on, they were ridiculed, they were considered trash. Um, this, of course, built a lot of animosity because who isn't going to hate others that abuse you? Uh, there was a woman that rose to power and wanted to try to reconcile both nations, both peoples, um, to try to build understanding. She was assassinated. When they found out who assassinated her, it was one of her own people. And when someone had caught this individual and they were asking him, "What have they ever done to you? What caused your hatred to be so bad that you would rather kill the other side than to make amends and try to live together?" And to the surprise of everyone, they didn't get a response that, "Oh, I was abused," or I was shunned, or I was discriminated against, or made to feel less than human. When they asked him what had personally been done to him, he said absolutely nothing. Which, oh my God, how did this person become so hateful of the other side? What had happened is that growing up as a child, all he heard around him was others talking about how horrible the other side was. This influenced his thinking and turned him into someone who was so full of hate that he couldn't see the similarities between everyone. So that's the kind of thing I worry about, because I try to teach my kids that you love everybody. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what I think. I can't let those kind of things come out of me that influences the next generation. It is my hope that through the next generation, there'll be a lot more peace and understanding. Now, getting back to this legislative thing, you know, there's been talks on both sides on why they're doing it and why they shouldn't do it. There were some threats from the legislature saying that they don't like that the reason they're doing it is because we don't like the liberal agenda. Um, but I don't understand why spending money to help educate people about the differences between each other so that they can better understand each other is a bad thing. It's not. I think we could all use a little more understanding in our lives. So I'm going to end with that, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's a much better quality video than what we had posted previously, and I look forward to next week. Thanks.